my name is Vanessa van Dijk, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can use the Inkey List Niacinamide Serum, which can be used daily in the morning and or evening. Now this serum contains 10% of niacinamide, and niacinamide is a brightening ingredient which can help you to improve surface hyperpigmentation, such as dark spots caused by acne, also known as blemishes. It also can help you to regulate your oiliness and therefore improves the appearance of enlarged pores by minimizing them. Now it also contains 1% of hyaluronic acid, which adds hydration to the skin. So overall, this is a great serum that can be used on all skin types. However, I do want to add that I think that it's best for combination to oily skin, maybe blemish-prone skin as well, because if you're going to use that one on dry skin and you're not going to adjust your skincare routine accordingly to your dry skin, then this serum can lead to dryness or tightness. So if you have a drier skin type, make sure that you're going to add hydrating products in that same routine. This may be a toner and or moisturizer, so that you can balance it out and still can use it if you want to have a brightening effect, or you may also suffer from surface hyperpigmentation and you want to improve it. Now, I want to share with you some example skincare routines so that you can see it visually, so that you can see the setup of how simple you can keep it and how you can adjust it accordingly, what you may have at home, and see the steps visually. And you can download the example skincare routines in the description box down below if you want to go over them in your own time and maybe use it as a guide. Feel free to do so. Now, you can use your niacinamide serum on its own, which of course depends on your skin type and needs, but you're basically fine to just wash your face with your cleanser that's suitable for your skin type and needs. This can be a gentle cleanser or exfoliating acid cleanser. Rinse it off, pat the skin dry, and then move on to your niacinamide serum. And then there you have it. However, if you're suffering from surface hyperpigmentation and you do not want to damage your skin from the sun rays, then when being exposed to the sun, don't forget to follow with sun protection afterwards. And there you have a very simple, straightforward skincare routine, but when basically using the niacinamide serum on its own, and this is completely fine to do so. However, if you say, well, I have, for example, an hydrating and soothing toner at home, an exfoliant, moisturizer, and I need to adjust it accordingly to, for example, my drier skin type or other needs which you may have, then of course you can adjust it. And so if you now say, well, for my morning routine, I want to work with a hydrating toner, then of course you can go ahead and start off by washing your face using a suitable cleanser for your skin type and needs. Then go ahead and move on to your hydrating and soothing toner, apply it to the skin, leave it on the skin, then follow with your niacinamide serum, again apply it to the skin, leave it on the skin, and then follow either with your moisturizer when not being exposed to the sun, if you should feel the need of it, or when being exposed to the sun, look for a moisturizer that already contains SPF, or follow with your regular sunscreen to protect the skin. And then when it comes to an evening skincare routine, you may say, well, I do also have an exfoliant at home. Of course, you can use niacinamide with exfoliating acids in the same routine. What you have to be aware of is adjusting your cleanser to it. So if you should have an exfoliating acid cleanser at home and a leave-on exfoliant or an exfoliating acid mask maybe, then it is important to only use one exfoliant per routine. So let's say you have a leave-on exfoliant at home, then make sure that you're going to start off by using a gentle cleanser that's suitable for your skin type and needs. And then in the evening, you may want to do a double cleanse as well if you have one water-resistant or waterproof makeup or sunscreen, to make sure that everything comes off. So once you're done with washing your face, you then can immediately move on to the next step. So if you should have an exfoliant at home, like an AHA, such as glycolic, lactic or mandelic acid, a PHA, such as like the Inkey List PHA toner, or even a BHA, such as salicylic acid, then you can use one of them in your skincare routine and adjust it accordingly to your skin needs. So an AHA is, for example, great if you have like dry skin, sun damaged skin. A BHA is great if you have like oily, acne-prone, sensitive skin, and a PHA toner is, for example, great if you have a bit more of a sensitive skin type and you still want to get a bit of exfoliation, so that you have already a general guide in mind. And please make sure to adjust the frequency accordingly, so that you're not going to irritate your skin when using your exfoliant too often. Once you have applied your leave-on exfoliant, then as it already says, leave it on the skin. There's no need to wash it off, and then follow with your niacinamide serum afterwards. So again, it's fine to use them in the same routine. There's no thing to worry about it. You can use them together. And then follow with a moisturizer if you should feel the need, or just leave it as it is. And so there you have an example evening skincare routine when working with an exfoliant as well, so that you can see the setup. Now, this is not what I wanted to share with you so that you have an overall understanding of how you can work with your niacinamide serum when having it at home. But now I really want to keep my focus on the actual application, and I'm going to keep the routine very simple. So I want to keep my focus on the essential steps such as cleansing, the application of niacinamide serum, and then follow with a moisturizer if you need to adjust it accordingly to your skin type, and sun protection when being exposed to the sun. So again, we're going to get started with the first step, which is washing your face using a suitable cleanser for your skin type and needs. I have a few examples right here, and I'm going to use Cetaphil's Daily Facial Cleanser, which is, for example, great for combination to oily, sensitive skin. This is just an example. If you have a different one at home that works really well for you, go ahead and use that one. Just make sure that you're going to read the directions on the back of the packaging on how you can properly use it, since this can change depending on the cleanser that you're using, and this can also change depending on the cleanser that you're using for your skin type. So do you have to apply it on dry skin or on wet skin? So make sure that you keep an eye on this. In this specific case, I need to apply the cleanser onto wet skin. So the first step that I'm going to do is now wetting my face, neck and hands with lukewarm water to warm water. And you can wash your face either above the sink or use the cleanser in the shower as well. Whatever is a bit more convenient for you to wash your face, go ahead and do so. Both ways are fine to do. Then use about 1 to 2 pumps of your cleanser in the palm of your hand. Rub your hands together and then gently massage it all over your face and neck for about 30 seconds to a minute. Now, please make sure that you're going to read on the back of the packaging if you can use your cleanser around the eyes or if you should avoid it. And if it does not mention anything at all, then you probably can use it around the eyes. Just make sure that if you have a sensitive eye area, to avoid it so that you're not going to irritate the eyes. And please make sure to not get the cleanser into your eyes nor into your mouth. If that should be the case, rinse it immediately with water. So, and once you have massaged your cleanser all over your face and neck, you now can go ahead and rinse it off again with lukewarm water to warm water by only just using your hands, or if you feel like you have troubles removing it, especially if you're trying to remove your sunscreen and or makeup, then my best advice would be using a fresh and soft washcloth in between, which you're going to wet, and this can help you to remove the cleanser a bit better. So and now take a fresh towel and pat the skin dry. Now, once you have washed your face, you have pat the skin dry, you now can continue with the rest of your skincare routine. Immediately after cleansing, you can already move on to your niacinamide serum. However, if you have a hydrating toner or serum or exfoliating acid toner at home, then please make sure that you're going to use those products before you're going to apply your niacinamide serum. So those products are between your cleansing step and your niacinamide serum. And then apply those products to the skin, and then you're going to leave it on the skin and then continue with your niacinamide and or moisturizer or sun protection afterwards. Now in this example, I'm really going to keep my focus on niacinamide only, so this is now where I'm going to immediately after I have washed my face move on to the niacinamide application. And so when applying your niacinamide serum to the skin, use about a pea-size amount, which is more or less of about like 4 drops. So of course this is just a general guide so that you have an idea of how you can get started. If you feel like you need to use a bit more, add a couple of drops more. If you feel like it's a bit too much, reduce it. Just make sure that you're going to use enough that you can evenly apply it all over your face and neck, but at the same time that the product is able to absorb into the skin. It shouldn't feel like it's still sitting on top of the skin. If that should be the case, then you probably have used too much and then you need to adjust it. And so you can either use a couple of drops in like on your fingers, in the palm of your hand, or immediately apply it to the face and then start blending it into the skin or patting it into the skin. Whatever method works the best for you, go ahead and use that one. So I use about 4 drops. Then I like to rub my hands together and gently apply it all over your face and neck. Now, please make sure that you're going to avoid the eye area if you know that you have a sensitive eye area, since it still includes 10% of niacinamide, which may be a bit too strong for your eye area because that area is already a bit more sensitive. However, if you know, well, I do not have any problems around the eyes, then of course you can go ahead and use it on that area as well. Just make sure to not get it into your eyes nor into your mouth, and if that should be the case, rinse it with water. So, and once you have applied your niacinamide serum all over, then you're going to leave it on the skin. There's no need to wash it off. As already mentioned, if you want to stop right here, your morning and or evening skincare routine, go ahead and do so. However, if you have a drier skin type, then you probably want to follow with a moisturizer afterwards. And that's completely fine to do because you need to adjust it so that you won't come across like excessive dryness or tightness, which can feel very uncomfortable on the skin. And then go ahead and use, for example, your favorite moisturizer, which works really well for your skin type and needs. Then use about a pea-sized amount. If you have a drier skin type, you probably want to use a bit more. Then use it to your fingers, or dip with your fingers into your jar of your moisturizer. Use it between your hands and then gently massage it all over your face and neck. And you're basically going to apply it on top of your niacinamide serum. This can be a morning and or evening skincare routine. However, again, I do want to remind you that when being exposed to the sun and you're battling with hyperpigmentation, or you want to like really protect the skin from the sun rays when being exposed to the sun, then of course sun protection is important, which can either be using a moisturizer that already contains SPF or a regular sunscreen. Make sure that you're going to apply your sun protection product 10 to 15 minutes before sun exposure, and please do not forget to reapply throughout the day. If you went for a swim, have been in the sun for several hours, or you have done outdoor activities where you sweat a lot, where the sunscreen can move around, wear off, or even break down, then the sun protection is really important. And so this can of course be either a moisturizer that already contains SPF or regular sunscreen. Just make sure that it does not irritate your skin nor your eyes in any way, and it should feel comfortable on the skin. Now, as a general guide, I always like to use my teaspoon for it, so that you see like how much protection you actually would need to use for your face, neck, and maybe décolletage as well if it's being exposed to the sun. Then for your face and neck, use about half a teaspoon. For your face, neck, and décolletage, use about 1 teaspoon. And I'm going to use CeraVe's moisturizer that already contains SPF, and I'm going to now dispense some product onto the spoon, so that you can see how much this would be more or less. This is just a general guide, it can be adjusted of course. If you feel like you ended up with too much product, like regulate it a bit more and use a bit less. If you feel like it's not enough, depending on your sunscreen, then use a bit more. But make sure that you're using enough so that you can evenly apply it all over your face, neck, and maybe décolletage to protect it evenly. And then go ahead and gently apply it all over your face and neck and maybe décolletage. So, and once you have applied your moisturizer and or sun protection, if you're doing this during daytime, then you're going to leave it on the skin. There's no need to wash it off. And this will be a very simple example skincare routine so that you can see the application as well. Now again, I do want to remind you that the example skincare routines are down below in the description box, which you can download and use it as a guide. And I do hope that you find this video helpful and that you enjoyed it. If you did so, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up as well as share it. And if you now want to know more about skincare in general, see different applications, or you want to get to know more about the Inkey List products, I'm going to link some videos at the end of this video so that you can keep on watching. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon in the next one. Happy skincaring. Bye!